Alright, welcome to my first try of giving you an overview of my editing process. Well, I'm not a native speaker, so I try to make the best out of it, but you will probably hear that it's not really fluent what I'm trying to explain you, but I will give my best. To give you an overview of how I edit the Provia, classic chrome and a black and white image with the X100V, or you can use it for every Fujifilm camera, because Provia and classic chrome and also like the Acros or black and white is everywhere available, so there shouldn't be a big gap between the cameras. So let's not waste any time and get into it. Okay, so we're now in Lightroom, and I created this little tutorial folder over here with some images we will work with, and we always got this virtual copy here and the original one, and we will work with the virtual copy and then compare later to the original one how close we got. Okay, so let's start here with this image and reset it. And what I always do before I start editing the images with some presets here is that I would go over and adjust the white balance. In this case, I would definitely go up a little bit with the temperature, so around here, and maybe bring down the tint and adjust the exposure. And at this part, I would go up just a little bit. And then on the left side here, I created some presets which are based on the Fujifilm Film Simulations, and you can see that I'm a big fan of Provia. I got a lot of different Provia presets over here, and also some Astia, classic chrome and classic neck, but this one we will take a look later, so let's stay with the Provia first. And when I go through this, I would go with this version, the low contrast, color, clean highs. So that just means that I adjusted the contrast a little bit, and this means here that I reduced it a little bit, especially in this basic tab here and in the tone curve. And the color stands for that I adjusted the colors a little bit to bring the oranges, yellow and greens more together, but other than this I haven't changed a lot. Maybe a little bit here in the sharpening, but yeah, these are the most of the changes. I haven't touched any of these curves here, just the basic tone curves. And this is also where I would go along right now. So I would probably bring out the mid-tones here a little bit more. Maybe create another spot. So something like this. Because I really like these parts here and how they come out. So, and in this case, I would also go back the clarity to -10. Normally I'm a big fan of reducing the clarity, but these details here, they look pretty nice. So I also would increase the dehaze, which is something I'm not normally doing, but in this image it works pretty good. So, and other than this, I wouldn't touch anything here because it looks pretty good already. So there's not much to do than just crop it to something like this. That's okay. And then we can already compare it to our before picture and see how close I got. So this would be, this is the before and this is the after, and yeah, it's pretty close. So this was the one we work now with, and you can see, it looks pretty similar. Okay. So let's jump to the next one. Okay, the next image we will work with is this one here from Japan. I already resetted it, and I can already tell that we have to adjust the exposure here, make it a little bit brighter, and then we can start with one of the presets, because I think that the temperature and the tint looks good so far for now. And we will go, let's see, maybe with this one here. I like to switch with the color. You can see here you can see the big difference in the color, that's what I mean. So here it's the light is really yellow, and here we got a little bit more of a orange tone in it, and I like this one. Also, again, the low contrast looks nice. And then we maybe can use one of these presets again here. So I also created some color grading presets. They add a lot of color to it, so I'm not using them so frequently. I try to adjust the color always with the temperature and tint with the white balance, but in this case I think that one of these could work, maybe one of the Kodak ones. So these Fuji split toning ones, they are always a little bit more greeny and pinkish, and the Kodak, they have these classic orange and blue split toning. So this 3 here looks nice, and maybe we can go here with the lens correction. Yeah, because with the architecture here, the lines get a little bit more straightened. Okay, so let's look again at our good old tone curve. Again, I would adjust a bit of the mid tones here, but not too much, because we are pretty close with the highlights that it could start to burn. And this one I would also adjust the shadows a little bit more, and the highlights, but just a little bit, to bring it a little bit more closer, to bring out the shadows a little bit more into the midtones. Sorry if it's hard to edit and then explain in the same time what I'm thinking of while I'm editing. I give my best. Yeah, so other than this, there's not much to do. Just checking this step here again, but I would leave it as it is right now and compare it again to the one before. Yeah, so if I compare it side by side, I would say this one looks a little bit more saturated, or at least it could be that the tone curve here is, yeah, so the shadows are a little bit deeper, and maybe the highlight also, so like this. But it was pretty close. So I also like the edit from before. So if we go back to this one, it's a little bit softer here in the shadow area, and I like this as well. So both edits would be fine with me. Sometimes it really depends on what you like in the moment. Okay, and we will go to the next one. Okay, this is the last one. We will edit with the Provia. So first just let it reset here, and then start as we go. And for this one, I wouldn't change a lot in the temperature or in the exposure. I already like it right now. So let's go through our presets here. Maybe this one looks good. but I think in comparison, so both would be good. I already like here this the contrast here in the mountains. I also like the cleanness of this one here in the snow. So will go again with this one here and reduce. First of all, I would reduce the contrast a little bit even more, and use one of the split tones again. And in this part, I got one for especially for mountains. I really like, but this is too strong right now, so we have to reduce it to something like this. And as you can see here, it's way too pink, so that's why we will go something like this here. Yeah, this looks good. So what I like about this mountain glow here, I will show you in the color grading section. So you get a little bit of oranges in the midtones and in the shadows, but here in these darker tones here and there's still some bluish, which creates this classic orange-blue tint, but also it's quite balanced with the midtones, so you got a good balance between the warmth and the coolness of these two colors. What we definitely need to do is bring up the curve again, and I think, yeah. So as I said that I like this contrast from the other preset, we can start with just bringing up the curve here in the highlight sections, and then you can already see that it looks much more contrasty in this part. Maybe even bring up the lights one step. So this looks already pretty good. What you definitely need to do here is get rid of these little leaves or whatever it was. Maybe this one. So I would say that the main thing in this edit was adjusting the colors a little bit with this color grading here, and also with the tone curve here, bringing it up in the highlight part to get more of a contrast here in these mountains. So let's compare it to the one before. Actually can't see a difference. Looks exactly the same. This is a little bit more, still a little bit more reddish pinkish here in this area. Also here, this is more blue. Don't know why. Probably there's that I haven't touched that much of the color grading here. So I'm ordered the tint probably. And in this one we really reduced it, and yeah, but it's both good. These are so minor changes, they look both nice as they are. Okay, let's go to the first classic chrome image. Okay, this is again a picture from Japan, and we will reset it, of course. You can also already see that we need to adjust the crop first. So it was a not that easy shot, so I panned with the car here, and to get it right in center is not that easy, so you just have to correct the crop a little bit, but it's okay. So something like this, so it's in the middle, and of course we need to adjust the exposure. this case, yeah, quite a bit, something like this. So, and this one is the example for the classic chrome. This classic chrome works pretty good in these darker situations, I would say, or at least, of course, with like a car where you got some reflections and stuff. It's made for these situations. And also again, split toning in this case, yeah. I can already tell the Fujifilm split toning here works also really good. I like this. It's got this retro feeling with the greener tones here, but maybe it's a little bit too yellow, too pinkish still. So in the shadows, yeah, this is the look I was aftering. So getting really this green tint in the shadow area to warm it up a bit more. So a lot of night pictures I see like this often very cold and bluish, but I think that I also really like this more warmer approach with more greenery. It's a bit different, and it got this more of this retro charm in my opinion. So I wouldn't change anything more right now. So I'm already pretty happy. I don't think that we need to change anything in the tone curve. I can show you the curve here. So it's similar to the other ones, just that we have this time the classic chrome profile, a little bit more contrasty. Also the color is a bit adjusted. Again, this classic yellow, more to the oranges stuff, and yeah, let's compare it. Not to this one, to this one. Yeah, looks good to me, looks similar to me. And the last image we will work with today is a black and white image. So let's reset it here. This is the original, it's shot in color. And for the black and white, I got this black and white section over here. Oh, I also got this grain section here. I totally forgot it. This is just to give me a faster overview of the grain that I don't need to edit it every time. And these Acros here are based on the Fuji Acros, and the Neopan is based on the monochrome. And the other ones I've got here, like Ilford and Kodak, these are old black and white presets I created, but I really like to work with the Fujifilm ones. So just to explain my thoughts here, the 1600s are, if we compare it, much more contrasty than the normal Acros here. And I already can say that I like the 1600 more, and probably the one with the red filter. So if we compare it, this is the not so contrasty one, and this is the contrasty one. I like it, and I would just change the exposure. Make it a little bit, yeah. That's it. That's already it. Wouldn't change more. It's already good. Black and white edits. I got this strong curve over here. Let's see. Again, the classic, bringing up the lights here. Got this already almost in every preset I created, bringing up the lights in the tone curve. And other than in the color presets, where I go down with the clarity, and this one I go up with the clarity for the black and white. Don't know why, but it just fits a bit better to get a little bit more crunch, I would say, or contrast, micro contrast, probably is the right term for it. All right, that's it. Let's compare it. Yeah, looks exactly the same. I have to say that it's really hard for me in black and white to find some big difference if it's the same profile. I'm pretty sure that I used the same profile here. I like the Acros one. So yeah, these were the edits. They were all shot with the X100V. This one taken with the teleconverter, and the rest is taken with the normal 23mm. Alright, that's it from the editing workflow. I hope you could take something out of it, and I hope I could help you answering the questions about how I edit the Provia, Classic Chrome and some black and white images with the Fujifilm Filmsimulations. And you may see that the main part is just to edit the white balance and the turn curve, and the rest is pretty easy, and you got already a good picture out of it with the film simulations. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a good one. Bye bye.